Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Abraham and you're watching Abe NXC. In today's video, we're going to be going over the iPhone 13 Pro leather case with MagSafe functionality versus the iPhone 13 Pro silicone case with MagSafe functionality. Whew, that's a mouthful. I'm going to be comparing the differences between the durability, longevity, and functionality of the cases. I'm going to be going over the MagSafe connectivity, whether it's gotten better or worse from last year, and in the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you my final recommendation as to which one would be right for you. Alright, so I've already unboxed the iPhone 13 Pro leather case with MagSafe functionality, and if you haven't seen that, then go ahead and click somewhere up here in the cards. It will take you to that video. But today we're going to be unboxing the iPhone 13 Pro silicone case in colorway Clover, I think this is, or just green, whatever. Pretty satisfying. So there we are. That's how it looks when it comes out, just like that. Alright, so first impressions. What do I think about this guy right here? First and foremost, I'm not even going to front with you guys. It feels very slippery. It does not feel that texturized at all. Yeah, it feels like it would slip out of my hand in some situations. The inside feels nice with the microfiber material that's in there. You can see the circle for the MagSafe technology there. Buttons here. Yeah, silicone-y, nice and slippery like silicone. Anyway, that's my first impressions. Let's go further into this comparison. All right, so now we have my midnight leather case here. I think it's called midnight. This is black, basically black to me. But I've had this case for about a week, so keep in mind it has about a week's wear and tear on it. But I'd say it's still pretty new. And these are the cases together, back to back. So these are both of the lock buttons together, side by side. Volume up, volume down, and the hole cutouts for the silencing feature on the phones. Camera cutouts there for the humongous camera, and again by the side. This is underneath you can see the main difference there being the difference in cutout for the speakers. Not entirely sure why that is. Maybe sound doesn't travel through leather as well as silicone. I'm not a scientist, I don't know. The leather case right off the bat just feels like a more premium product. I mean, the leather case is $60 versus the silicone case being $50. Not that huge of a difference right there, but you get what you pay for, I guess is what people say. Okay, so I wanted to go over the flexibility of the cases. Here we are with the silicone case, flexing it. It has a good amount of flexibility there. Pretty good amount. And then here is the leather case. A good amount of flexibility. I'm putting just as much effort in, but I feel like, I'm not sure if it's picking up on the camera, but I feel like the leather case is harder to flex, or it doesn't get pushed as far. And you might be wondering, well, what the heck, why are you measuring their flexibility? And that's because if you have a case on your phone for a long period of time, eventually it's gonna adapt and mold to your phone. And just like a pair of pants, they're gonna eventually stretch out to a point where it's probably not gonna fit as snug. All first impressions, the silicone case does feel like it stretches more out of the box, and I feel like over time this would stretch to a point where it's almost, there's a good gap between your phone and the case. Whereas with the leather case, although it does stretch, I will admit that it does stretch, but it does not stretch nearly as much. Now, before we throw the phone into each of these guys, I'm gonna go over the buttons and the button quality. So here we have the silicone buttons. When you click on the button, you feel the entire siding move in. A good amount. The buttons feel like silicone. It feels like a part of the case. It feels one with the case. Whereas on the leather case, let me see if it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. So you still feel this kind of moving in some. It does, again, feel a little bit more rigid than the silicone case. Same with the top button for the volume up and volume down. The volume up button does give a little bit more because it's closer to this indent or hole in the casing. And then here, the lock button feels very, very sturdy. On the bottom part, you can see that with the silicone case, there are dots here for the speakers, whereas with the leather, there are holes. So then, on this part of the casing, the silicone case feels a lot more sturdy than the leather case, and that's just because there's less holes in the body for structural integrity reasons. So when the 12 Pro cases with MagSafe technology came out, they weren't the strongest connections between the case and the MagSafe connector, at least for the 12 Pros. But now with the 13 Pros, it does seem like it got a little stronger. Now when I pull slightly harder than normal, it does end up coming off, obviously, but even without the phone in the case, it still feels pretty strong. Even on the silicone model, which I know there was a problem with the 12 Pros. The leather case actually feels just as strong as well. I feel like Apple really put their best foot forward and fixed the problems from the 12 Pros, and I don't see any problem with connectivity issues. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a MagSafe wallet to test out with these cases. Honestly, I've never really had a use for a MagSafe wallet simply because I love using my regular standard wallet, which I'll cover in another video. However, I may be getting one in the future, and if anyone wants to send me one, I'll be more than happy to review it. All right, so the moment of truth, let's connect the phone to the silicone case without dropping it. Don't know if you heard that or not, but it did connect. All right, first impressions. This feels really good. This feels amazing. Yes, the back is slippery, but it feels really, really good. It feels snug, even though that this is a silicone case, and you'd think that this is a little bit more, you know, expandable. The edges of the case are very strong. Like this side of the rectangle is extremely strong. I don't feel like I can just, you know, take it off and peel it out at all. Even around the spots where there's a hole, okay? Here's the hole for the silencing. Even pulling that part, I don't feel good. It's really cool to see this, that, you know, how much thought and effort they put into even the silicone case. And it really feels snug. Before I take off the silicone case, I wanna go over this silence button. So on the leather case, I did have some trouble fitting my fat fingers into this hole to silence the phone. Obviously my fingers are gonna, you know, cover it now, but it's very, very easy on the silicone case. If you have big hands, big fingers, the silicone case does make it easier to access your silencing button. One more super cool function is that when you pair the phone with your case, the animation on the screen changes depending on what color case you have. So this is the Caper, I think it was, colorway. So now I'm gonna show you here. Saw that? So it turned green or Caper like the phone's casing is, which is pretty cool. All right, so now we're gonna be installing it on the black leather case, and I'm gonna see if the screen will also do the same thing for this case, so. Yep, so this one was a midnight color or gray color, which is pretty cool. I didn't notice that the first time. First and foremost, this feels more texturized. It feels a lot more grippy. It feels like this will not fall out of my hand in comparison to the silicone case. The buttons feel very clickable. You hear that? I'm gonna try not to call 911, but the buttons are very clicky, and I think it's because they're metal. I actually took apart my old metal case for the 11 Pro because it was tearing apart anyway. And these are actually metal buttons in comparison. Now let's compare the silencing functionality. So here we are again with my big old fingers, and I'm trying my hardest to get in there, and I just can't. I think I got it. Nope. Let's start again. There we go. I just clicked it there. Maybe I have a defective case. I don't know, maybe they didn't cut the hole wide enough, but my big fat fingers just can't do it. You know, if you're at a play or something and your phone is going off, and you just wanna silence it, it can be difficult to get to that button if you have wider fingers, thicker fingers for the leather case. All right, finally, safety for your phone. This is the entire reason why you get a case in the first place. Not the MagSafe functionality, not because it can charge or anything like that, but just because you wanna keep your phone safe. So which one do I feel like will protect your phone more? That is a difficult question. I feel like the silicone case will help your phone stay protected more, just because I know that plastics absorb impacts really, really well. They like defer all throughout, but without doing actual drop tests, I can't say that, and I don't really feel like destroying my phone, so I'm not gonna do a drop test. The leather case does seem like it would protect pretty well as well, but I'm not too sure about leather in terms of how well it protects against impacts, but I would assume that the silicone case protects your phone a little bit more. All right, so still talking about safety, here we are back with the silicone case. The bezels on the edges of the case are the same height for both. I didn't really show you on the leather case, but I can really only show you one at a time, so I might throw in a clip somewhere around here. But the bezels are the same, you know, distance, maybe like 0.5 millimeter away from your actual phone screen. If this were to fall on a flat surface, the screen would be fine. The screen would not get hurt. But let there be a rock this size, this big, even this big, and your screen will most likely have a scratch or crack in it. And it's because these bezels are so small. I think that making the phones larger this time around and thicker, they took away the amount of margin that they had for these bezels, and that could translate into more cracked screens, unfortunately, on both models. Now, durability and longevity. These silicone cases are not durable at all. I don't care what anybody says, they're not durable, okay? I mean, you have to be a saint with your phone. And even then, just taking this in and out of your pocket can create wear and tear on the edges. Like I said, with the leather case that I had for the 11 Pro, the case started to get a couple chips, you know, in the sides, and that's because it fell really hard on concrete. On the silicone cases though, you don't really have to do much. Now we're back over to the leather case here. Now this guy is very durable, okay? Like I just said, these will last a very long time. My leather case for my 11 Pro Max I had from the day that I got it, basically, or almost close to that date, and it lasted 1.5 years, almost 2 years, no problems, up until the end where I got, you know, annoyed and just ripped off some of this, you know, extra pieces that I wanted to rip off. All right, everyone, my final recommendation for you. Which one do I feel like you should get? Well, obviously, like with most things, that answer is not really a set answer. There are two different types of people in this world for the Apple iPhone 13 Pro MagSafe case, right? So for one, the silicone case. If you take very good care of your phone, not only your phone, but your cases, and historically you have always, you know, ended up upgrading and your old phone's case looked pristine. And if you like a lot of different color choices and color options, you know, over the life of your phone, and if you like to change the color and look of your phone very often, then yeah, the silicone case is right up your alley. The leather case cannot provide you that level of flexibility, and if you can say yes to those three things that I mentioned, then yes, the silicone case would be a great option for you. On the other hand, for the leather cases, if you value the premium feel and the luxury feel of the leather case, if you are somebody who maybe drops your phone sometimes from waist height or lower or manageable distances, and you're not always super careful with it, and if you don't mind not having too many color choices, then the leather case would be for you. Now, yes, the leather case does offer you quite a few different color options and color choices, but really the black and brown leather cases are the only ones that patina well over time, and the only ones, in my subjective opinion, that look really good. All right, and that's pretty much it. Both of these cases are great, they're awesome, but it really just depends on you, who you are, to determine which case is best for you. So I really did personally want to keep the Caper green case in silicone, MagSafe, whatever, for the 13 Pro, but at $50, it doesn't seem like I'm gonna keep it. This is a really cool colorway. I love this shade of green very much, and if they made this in the leather casing and the leather casing didn't patina too much, then I might consider buying it. But I've seen way too many people come in to the Apple store for Genius Bar appointments to talk about why their case is peeling in multiple different areas just a few months after buying it. And so personally, that means that I'm okay with spending the extra $10 to get the leather case that'll last me 2 years. So this is just my personal opinion on these guys. I'm gonna stick with the leather case, and if another case comes out that I really like, then I'll make sure to make a video about it and let you all know. But for now, I think I'm gonna have to return the Caper case. All right, and that is it for today, guys. I'm not gonna be coming out with a secret word or phrase in this specific video, and that's because I just came out with one about a video or two ago, but the very next video that I come out with, I will be coming out with the second word or phrase that is a part of the iPhone 13 giveaway contest, you know, series, whatever. So if you haven't seen the original iPhone 13 giveaway, you know, entry video and how to enter and things like that, it'll be right up here. If you want to see the video where I mentioned the very first, you know, secret word or phrase that you have to track, then it'll be somewhere around here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.